about squats. Another one of the most common exercises. They're fantastic for building strength, but they're also a really common component of a lot of day-to-day activities. I always like to joke that if you use the toilet, you have to squat throughout the day. So today we're going to break it down, talk about some of the key mistakes that people make, tweaks that we can make to make it a little more effective, and we'll go through it. So Tasha's going to start by showing us some of the more common things that we see happening. So if you just do a squat like we typically see our clients do. Okay, so first thing you're going to see is very upright back and heels coming off the ground. Right now, glutes aren't firing that much. We've got a very quad dominant, puts a lot of stress on the knee. So our first tweak there is just to keep the heels flat and initiate the movement with the hips. So push your butt back, bend your knees, yeah. And shoulders are going to stay right over top of the feet. If we drew a straight line through the shoulders, it's there. Nice posture through the back. A lot of times we see rounding, people folding forward too far that way, or actually rounding the back. See, he's back, there we go, yeah, just like that. So if you bring chest up, butt out, and keep those shoulders over top of the feet, that's fine. Another really important thing to remember is that depending on your own limb length, that's going to determine how far leaned forward you are. I've got very short legs, so I can stay more upright in a squat than some people. You see basketball players or volleyball players squat, and they've got a really long femur, so their butt has to go back more. They're going to be like this versus like that. Whatever's natural for your mechanics is fine, as long as a few things come into play. Heels are flat, knees and second toe are aligned, you're getting full depth through the motion, and those shoulders are in line with the ankles. If you've got all those things, 99% of the time you're in a good squat position. Okay? If Tasha turns to the front so everyone can see knee position, I'm just going to show you a couple other common mistakes that happen. So, knees dipping in this way, or knees coming out, people rolling towards the outside. Now, one thing to be said here, if Tasha is doing more of a plie squat or a sumo squat, it's fine to turn out like that as long as the knees and second toe are aligned. If you get this dip coming in or rolling out to the outside of the feet, then that's something we want to avoid. So now Tasha will do a proper one. So knees and second toe aligned, shoulders right over the feet, good posture. Now, something we see, and it's not as big of a deal in just a bodyweight squat, is this neck position. If you turn to the side again, so people can see it. So a lot of people are really hyperextended in the neck. Now, the neck is part of your spine, so if we think of just tilting forward and keeping that neutral alignment, you're going to take a lot of stress off cervical vertebrae, especially when you start adding a barbell or some heavy load in there. You can put a lot of stress through that system, so something to consider. But all in all, squat is a seemingly simple motion, but very few people do it correctly, especially once they start adding load. So there's a few things to remember. Remember, heels on the ground, knees and toes aligned. I'm going to quickly touch on one other thing. A lot of people will say, oh, don't let your knees go past your toes. Now, once again, if you have a long lower limb and flexible ankles, your toe or your knee might go a little bit past your toe. As long as your heel's flat and the rest of your mechanics are in line, it's not a huge deal. However, the reason that saying was there is most people, when their knee goes past the toe, their heels are coming off the ground. So by putting the heels down and sitting your butt back, 99% of the time, that takes the issue out of the equation. So remember those technique tips, and you'll be squatting fantastically. Check us out at freshfitness.ca. Email us, info@freshfitness.ca, and have an awesome day.